I'm Striving Solutions Specialist with Master Graphics, and I'm here to talk to you about your building design suites. Basically, what are you not taking advantage of? What are some of the softwares in there that could really help your workflow, but not too many people take the time to take a look at? So let's get started. So stay tuned. The first thing we're going to be talking about is reality capture and cloud points, cloud scanning, how reality capture is becoming more and more important in the process of building information modeling. Definitely want to shed some light on how easy it is to import it. A lot of people are very fearful of bringing in cloud points and the size of the cloud points and the sheer thousands and thousands of points you've got to fish through. We'll shed some light on that. Also, how you can start to leverage the scan data for your design and documentation verification. We talk a little bit more into the design process. How do we leverage scan data simply for doing feasibility studies with existing conditions? So that'll be a little bit of our focus this morning. So scan data improvements. Here we are 3 years ago. Take a guess at how many points we have here. 2 billion points. Okay, so the headache was, coming from a design background, I was always thinking, okay, how do I fish through 2 billion points to create a Revit model, a 3D model? This stuff still has to be converted. But the points are accurate. I can build very accurate models. I can snap to those points, but there's still a lot of cleanup. I'm concerned about the size of the file. I'm concerned about how messy it's going to get. Sound familiar? So, where are we at today? This is interesting. So our problem got bigger, right? So it looks 20 billion points now. We have capability inside of Revit and AutoCAD. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean our file size is getting any bigger. It doesn't mean that it's really going to mess up our files. What? Extraneous things that are left out on desks and stuff that we don't want. So. Great means of just pulling it together, experiencing the scans, making sure the please take it properly. Now, let's next step. Let's see how easy it is to pull the scan over into Revit. Alright, so here we are in Revit 2015, and we are going to import a cloud file. So we're going to go to our Insert tab, Insert Cloud. And here we've got the finished result of the text shop. I'm simply going to say open. It's an RCP file that was saved out of Recap. And you can see it brings in my cloud file. So, very similar to what we saw in Recap. I can experience it. Again, we can use all of our tools, the full navigation tool to walk through, to pan, but let's get this thing fixed up a little bit first. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this thing oriented so we can use our elevations and stuff. So we're just going to rotate this into place. So I'll select my file. some of the accurate points, actually locating my base point of rotation. So we at least have an orientation for north, south, east, and west. Next thing is we need to make sure it's over at front level. So there's my scan. Above that. Point the slab. Up to our level 1. I'm going to adjust level 2. Be just at the other side of the structure. There we go. So in this example, all I'm simply going to study, don't judge me for my design capabilities here, but we're going to study just dividing this space into 2 separate spaces, this upper space over here and the actual mechanic shop down here. We'll throw in a partition here, throw in a small mezzanine level. So the first thing we'll do is establish that mezzanine level. So we'll go back to our level 1 and start building our walls. So we're just going to subdivide this space right here. Now I always like to leverage our 3D views while we're building things so we can see what we're accomplishing here. So let's drop in a camera. So we'll drop it over by this table. Here and take a look at what we're building. Okay, so you can see our newly created wall here. Let's tile this. So let's go throw some doors in so we can get back and forth between these spaces. So throw our glass door here. Think it's fitting for a mechanical room. Let's see. We might need an overhead section over in this bay here. judging here. Okay. And just to show you what some of the things we can do here, let's go to our mezzanine level. And we'll throw a balcony across there. So when we finish, you can see the completed space here. We can change to, say, realistic mode so we can see what our design looks like, add materials. But I want you to really kind of understand here that what we're able to do here very quickly is that feasibility studies in Revit and building information model is typically pretty scary stuff because we've got to get those existing conditions in. With reality capture, we can get our existing conditions in fast, we can study design options, we can help customers to experience what is the resulting design going to look like. Right now, that mechanic shop design is at 3 meg. So let's dispel that rumor. If you'd like to learn more about how to leverage scan data for the design process, for reality capture, for construction validation, please contact us. Hope you enjoyed this portion of it, and look forward to talking to you about our next topic. Alright folks, so the next thing I'd like to talk to you is about Autodesk Showcase. This is another really helpful tool that's in your toolbox of building design suites, and not too many people I've seen that have really started to leverage this in their workflows. But I think it's definitely a valuable tool that you should know about, start to leverage and utilize in your workflows. What is it? It's basically a presentation, but I also want to spin it a little bit differently. I think it's also a great design tool as well. If you've ever been to a website where you build your own car, you probably have seen several websites that you're shopping for a new car, and you can go into their website to customize, so you can pick your model, pick your engine, but then you get to the fun stuff of choosing the paint color, choosing the interior color, choosing dash colors and stuff like that. Well, that actually is the Showcase engine. So what it is, it's in a rendered environment. You see the materials as they're supposed to be. It's in a fairly high quality rendering, but allows you to study different iterations. It allows you to kind of experience the model in a cinematic way. So next thing, it can enhance your presentations. So if you're communicating to customers, it allows you to communicate a lot easier, show different iterations during your presentation, provide some of those cinematic moves around. So here we are inside of Autodesk Revit. I've dealt with a lot of healthcare clients out there, and I am absolutely amazed at the number of studies that I've seen in meetings, countless hours for design decisions between the architects, between the designers, the planners, the actual end users, the nurses, and the doctors. So just to give it somewhat of a real-world spin to this, what I want to do is take a quick look at kind of a health clinic, and we're going to narrow it down to just simply studying a patient room. Again, these are facilities that I see go through 50, 60 iterations to get it right specifically for the end user experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom into here, into this exam room. We're going to isolate this, and we're going to bring that over to Showcase to show you what we can possibly do here. So one of the best tricks I like in Revit is we can go to our 3D view. If any of you do not know this, you will love it. You can right-click over here and say Orient to View. Here's all my floor plans, my elevations, sections, 3D views. These are great ways to manipulate that 3D view for getting down to what you actually need to see. So I'm going to go to my ground floor. And then simply using Scope Box, narrow this down. So all I'm doing is paring the model down so we only see that patient room. So as you can see,